9:25, want to give you some thoughts. I put some thought into it, making sense of where the Red Wings are going this offseason. The move, I think they'll make. Before we get to that, John, do you feel guilty at all?
Do I feel guilty? Do I have a guilty conscience? What are we talking here?
So normally right around this time, we go to Heather with the news. Now she's off.
Right.
But she brought up in her news yesterday that the podcast you did with Mel Owens has gone viral.
Yeah.
So I saw this from Reality Steve. He's one of these Bachelor Nation reporter types.
The one that supposedly always has the
scoop on who wins.
Yeah.
He said he's hearing Mel Owens will be out as the Golden Bachelor because the comments he said on your podcast didn't go over so well.
So what's the question again?
Do you feel guilty for firing the Golden Bachelor?
Well, first of all, he's not fired. And second of all, I mean, all of these things, like he was vetted.
You did too good a job. You gave him the room to be loose and comfortable.
Right. And all of these things were vetted long before he did an interview with me. So maybe they're not happy that he publicly said some of these comments. Maybe they are, because it's creating the buzz that they want to create for the Golden Bachelor. What was the buzz going into the last one?
Zero, none, blah.
Right. And so I'm not feeling guilty.
No, I've seen so many people, look, I can't have a preference. It's not so much, I think, that they're mad that he had a preference. It's that he was going to exclude a woman who's 61 on the Golden Bachelor. Like, maybe she's your type.
Right.
Give her a chance.
Well, and I'm sure, knowing Mel, right, he's going to. I know he came out and said, no one with artificial hips, no one with wigs.
But I think that's a better reason than she's 61. She could be 61 and be your type.
But he is, and knowing him, he is open-minded enough that he's not going to exclude anybody just to begin with.
Right.
And it's, I mean, like every dude, until you met the one, there were probably a lot of exclusions that you had, and then all of a sudden the one came along and you're like,
this is good.
Right. Now, I have a question on the other end of this. Does he have a minimum, like, does he have a bottom age where?
Yeah, he said like 48.
Oh, really?
They're not going to cast a 48-year-old.
He said 45 to 60.
Oh, okay.
Was the age range that he gave.
But they're not going to cast
what if it was
a 45
to 60?
Oh, God.
You get the Belichick stuff going?
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to do that.
Could you imagine the women on the show if there was one 25-year-old?
That would make it worth it.
It could be TV. It'd be good TV.
I'd watch.
Right. And that's what they're just looking for, a little controversy. So for to think that he would be removed because of somebody's opinion that, he's
shallow.
He's shallow. Welcome to the world we live in.
It is going to put eyeballs on it. But this Reality Steve guy is right a lot. I don't know what's going to happen, John. It could be all your fault.
Yeah. Well,
all because you got this poor guy to open up on your podcast.
Yeah, well, that's the job description.
I know it's not your fault.
I wonder if they're talking about this on Good Morning America and Straight Hands there. Yeah, that's typical Jansen.
That would be awesome. Yeah. And then under his breath, he goes, I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Typical Jansen. Ruining a good thing.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll get to the cookie jar coming up at 9:35. So I sat down yesterday and I said, it can't be that this is it for the Red Wings. This can't be the offseason where Mason Appleton is the signature free agent and they sit on $12 million. I got to find out what they're doing here. We want a top 6 forward. We want a top 4 blue liner. Maybe they're not getting both, but they got to get somebody, right? And I think I have the answer. It's shades of DeBrincat meets shades of Tkachuk. I know Tom loves
shades of gray in there.
Loves the Matthew Tkachuk situation. It's a player with a year left on his deal that may not re-sign, that you go and get a year early. So DeBrincat begged to come home. What if it's another guy who may want to come home? What if it's a guy who grew up here, played at Michigan, has a connection, and has 1 year left on his deal? Like Tkachuk, he's in remote rural Canada on a team that's pretty good. 100-point team. But you feel like they're kind of tapped out. The Calgary Flames had 111 points, made the second round of the playoffs, but it was clear they weren't going to win it all. So Tkachuk says, I'm out. And he ends up in Florida. And Tom only lets us know about it every other day. I'm talking about Kyle Connor. Remote Winnipeg, President's Trophy winners, another exit many first round, this year second round. He's a 40-goal scorer. All he has to do, and Kyle, if you're listening,
if you're in town,
you need to create a little bit of noise here. I'd love to play for the Red Wings someday. Send tweet. Get this in motion, because then you get the DeBrincat effect. Then he's picking his destination. I mean, they didn't have to give up everything to get DeBrincat. They gave up a first. They gave up like Kubalik. You could put together a deal to bring Kyle Connor into this cap space, to put him on your top line. He's a left wing, left shot. Helps Dylan Larkin, gives him some help, gives Yzerman a big piece who fits the timeline, doesn't compromise all their cap space. Kyle Connor's the move. Boy, that really goes for a while. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to make sense of all this, and I think this makes sense. We've had people ticket text in going, I've delivered packages to him. I'm his neighbor. He'd love to play here. Then say it. Kyle, you got to say it. Say I want to come home, and we'll play Skylar Gray, and you'll come on with us the next day. It'll be great.
So he may want to, and maybe he ghosts Winnipeg on his social media accounts.
Yeah, unfollow him.
And he posts that I would love to go home, and everybody then he doesn't say where home is, and everybody's looking, well, where is he from? Where did he play in college? And everybody, all of a sudden, it starts the conversation. It would require Steve to do something that he just hasn't been willing to do, and that is give up some of your highly prized draft picks.
But he did for DeBrincat. DeBrincat's deal was done after the
tell
start
me
of
who
free
he's giving
agency. Put me on the spot. I'm giving up a first. I'm giving up Nate Danielson and a second, and we're in the door. And if he only wants to come here kind of the way DeBrincat angled, I think he can squeeze it and get it done.
I don't know if Winnipeg would do that.
They don't have to want to do it. He's going to leave their ass. It's now or get nothing. It's what we taled about. If McDavid wants to give his team notice, it's the right thing to do.
You're holding their head to the fire right now. They can play this out throughout the season and go to the deadline with it. And I think the thing you need to learn from the Tkachuk trade is that they did give up Huberdeau.
100-point player.
Yeah.
And Weegar, who was a blue liner.
So I think Winnipeg, because of where they're at, and the whole shakeup, and they're not getting over the top here. All those things make sense. Calgary was a 100-point team that year.
That's why I drew the comparison.
Right. But I think Winnipeg asked for a proven player.
Okay, so
who are you taking off this roster?
So let's play this game. I mean, I don't think you want to trade Sider or Raymond, right? And you're probably keeping Casper and Edvinson. You keep your 4 core Yzerman first-round picks that are here. DeBrincat and Larkin? Probably not.
Both? But now I'm running, I don't think you do both.
But now I'm running out of guys, right?
Yeah, it's actually funny. DeBrincat might be in this deal. Seriously. From Winnipeg's perspective, they get a goal scorer back.
Yeah, because they're not going to love the idea of Copper Confer, but I could give you an NHLer.
Right. I mean, if they want him, fine.
I give you an NHLer. I think the biggest thing the Wings have to offer people while they try to take a step on the ice is to give up players who aren't yet in Detroit. So it's the Danielson, the Branstad Nygaards.
Winnipeg still wants to try to win, though. Are they ready? Are they going to help them right now? See, that was the whole argument about Huberdeau. It blew up in their face, and now he's a 60-point player.
But now Calgary's rebuilding, and Winnipeg may have to face that reality if Connor leaves on his own for any team next offseason. See, that's why I think it's attractive, or why it's at least possible.
See, when you were teasing us with this in the email, and then you come in this morning, you wouldn't tell us who it was. I was prepared for complete smarm and sarcasm. And I thought you were going to say they should sign Rick Nash, because I like getting guys that were all-stars in the late 2000s and early 2010s.
Just looking for another year to hold on to.
Yeah.
Fits in with James Van Riemsdyk and Patrick Kane.
Yes.
What's Patrick Marleau up to these days?
Yeah, exactly.
Any tread left on the Joe Thornton tires?
Yeah, he still needs a championship.
My reputation precedes me. I could have come in and done that. That would have been funny.
Rick Nash.
Come on.
Rick Nash.
Is Jerome McGinley still lacing up skates somewhere?
Right.
How far back are we going to go? I think it makes sense. I think it could happen. It's gonna require.
It makes sense for the Wings. Does it make sense for Yzerman? Would he do that deal? And does it make sense for the Jets? Because if they're going to open it up, they're not going to open it up to just one team.
But what happened with DeBrincat is when you make it pretty clear that there's only one team you're going to sign with, you really hurt the return that team can get. And you can ensure you end up where you want to be.
Yeah.
Does he want to be here? Kyle, if you're listening, send tweet.
Why don't you DM him?
It's a
You
little.
guys, you were talking about the Golden Bachelor. Like, does Yzerman have like a age that you have to be in order to bring him in here?
It must be 34 plus.
Yes.
No 60-year-olds and no artificial hips. Although Kane's had some hip
Yeah,
work
his
done.
age range 34 to 39.
All right, cookie jars next, 97.1.